Hello, this is Dr. Mears, and today we are going to be subtracting and adding like and unlike denominators. First, we have to remember subtraction with polynomials, and I'm pointing this out because when we are subtracting, we are going to have to distribute that -1. What do I mean by that? Okay, let's do this example together. 5x cubed minus 3x to the fourth minus 2x minus 6x cubed plus 4x minus 8x to the fourth. So for this first set of parentheses, we can just drop the parentheses. And the reason we can do that is because there's nothing being multiplied over here. However, now for this set of parentheses, we have minus. So when we have a minus, this is really like a -1 that we have to multiply by everybody. So we have to change all of our signs inside the parentheses. So instead of a positive 6x to the third, we're going to do minus 6x to the third. Instead of positive 4x, minus 4x. Instead of minus 8x, plus 8x to the fourth. So all of the terms inside the set of parentheses gets changed to their opposite. And that's what is very important for this because it's a common mistake and I didn't want you to make it. So we're just kind of taking a little time to remember. Now what we're going to do is look for our highest exponent. I see I have a -3x to the fourth. 4 is the highest exponent. I see I have another one so I can combine these terms. -3x to the fourth plus 8x to the fourth is 5x to the fourth. And I can cross those out. The next highest exponent I see is 5x cubed. I have another cubed term here. So 5x cubed minus 6x cubed gives me a -1x cubed. Cross those out. And my last terms are minus 2x and minus 4x, and that gives us a minus 6x. And that's it. There's no other like terms to combine. They all have different exponents, so that is my answer. So just be careful when we're subtracting. Okay, subtracting with like denominators. So first, when you come across a problem, check the denominators out to see if they're like or unlike. So for this one, we have x to the fourth divided by 20x to the third plus 16x squared minus x minus 2 divided by 20x to the third plus 16x squared. So these are the same denominators. They're like denominators. So what we do is we just are going to combine everything over the same denominator. So I'm going to rewrite that common denominator. The reason why we want a common denominator is so that we can combine the numerators. I'm going to write down x to the fourth. I'm going to write down the subtraction, but because this is an x minus 2, I'm going to put it into parentheses because we have subtraction. And remember that subtraction does have to be given and change the signs of what comes behind it. So we are going to have to change the signs of x minus 2 to their opposite. So let's see what I get here. I'm going to write down my common denominator. Oops. Sorry, I wrote a 2 instead of a 3. Plus 16x squared. All right, so I'm going to write down x plus 4 minus x plus 2. Now I can combine the like terms in the numerator. I'm still just writing my common denominator down. So we have x minus x, those cross out, and then we have 4 plus 2, which is 6. Now you could leave your answer or you could reduce. And what I see here when we reduce is that I could divide 6, I could divide 20, and I can divide 16. All of these can be divided by 2. So that's what I'm going to do. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 20x to the third divided by 2 is 10. X to the third stays. 16 divided by 2 is 8, and x squared stays. So that's it. That's the reduced answer. If you forget to go on to that reduced part, it's okay. It's a little mistake. It would be nice if you did try to see if there was a number or greatest common factor that you could reduce by. Okay, let's go to subtracting with unlike denominators. We have 4 divided by x plus 2 plus 3x divided by 5. There are so many different ways of doing this. I'm going to show you the easiest way that I think is the easiest way. If you do have another way, that's absolutely fine. Just come up and show me so that we can work through it, make sure that's mathematically sound. So for this one, with unlike denominators, what I do to find a common denominator, and I'm just going to go CD, common denominator. is I'm just going to multiply these. So my common denominator is going to be 5 times x plus 2. That's it. And then I'm going to come and say, okay, to this first one, I have x plus 2, but I need 5 times x plus 2. So what do I have to do? You're right. I have to multiply the denominator and the numerator both by 5 to get that common denominator. All right, over here, I have 3x over 5. I need that common denominator. So what do I have to multiply? Right, x plus 2, x plus 2. So now I have that common denominator. Now I can combine the numerators. So I'm going to write down my common denominator. And I'm going to do some multiplication. So I am going to multiply 5 times 4, which is 20. This is a nice plus sign. And then I'm going to distribute. 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 2 is 6x. And I'm going to look, is there any like terms to combine in the numerator? There is not. So I'm just going to rewrite my answer with the highest exponent just in standard form for the numerator. And then I'm just going to keep the denominator. Oops, 2. Now, you could multiply the denominator if you want. You could do the distributive. Oops, that. You could multiply the denominator, so you could do the distributive. You don't have to with this one. I don't see anything that I can reduce by, so I am just going to leave it and move on to our next view. Okay, number 2. X plus 5 divided by 2x minus 2 minus 2/5. Again, my common denominator, this is the easiest way that I see. Again, there are other ways because you can factor first. Some people like that. So if you want an alternate way, you can even come up and ask me what would the alternate way be. But for now, I'm just going to do 5 times 2x minus 2. That's it. And then I'm going to ask myself, if I look at this first one, what does the denominator need? It needs to be multiplied by 5, which the numerator gets as well. What you do the denominator, you do the numerator. Okay. And then I'm going to look at 2/5. Okay, what does that need? That needs an x plus 2 times x, sorry. It needs a 2x minus 2. What you do the denominator, you also do to the numerator. Okay, now that we have our common denominator, that's what I'm going to put it over. So 5, 2x minus 2, because these are common, now I can combine them. And I'm going to do a little bit of multiplication. So I'm going to distribute. 5 times x is 5x, 5 times 5 is 25. Now I have a subtraction, so I'm going to put minus and I'm going to set up parentheses. Because that subtraction, I know I'm going to have to distribute that minus. That's why we did that first one, that first remembering when we have subtraction. Okay, I'm going to distribute the 2, so 4x minus 4. Now, hopefully you see that I am going to have to distribute this negative. That is the very common mistake that people make. So just be careful when you have this minus. Plus is great, but minus, that's when you're going to have to make sure you distribute it. So we have 5x plus 25 minus 4x plus 4 all over our common denominator. Just leave your common denominator. And then let's combine like terms in the numerator. You can leave your common denominator down here. All right, so I have 5x minus 4x, so that's x. 5x minus 4. I have 25 plus 4 plus 29. If you wanted, you could distribute this. You don't have to. Some people, what they like to do, and you might see in the answer key it written a bit different. So what some people will do is take this the step further, 10x minus 10, and then they'll see that we have a greatest common factor. So they'll go even further to take that greatest common factor out. So you might see it written as 29. X plus 29 divided by 10 times x minus 1, which looks a little bit different than here. But all they did was they just took out this common factor of 2 here, which was, it turned to 10 when we multiplied it. So if you leave it like this, that's absolutely fine. I am looking to see that you have the common denominator, that you know what to multiply, you're simplifying, and you're getting to your answer. I'm not going to be too picky, especially since it's the end of the year. Okay, we have 2 more, number 3 and 4. So number 3, we have 4x divided by x plus 2 plus, yay, plus 2x divided by x minus 3. So our common denominator here, again, the same thing, x plus 2 times x minus 3. Just bring them together in multiplication. Then ask yourselves, what am I going to have to multiply x plus 2 to get to this common denominator? And you're right, it's going to be x minus 3, x minus 3. The reason why I put it on this side is because we're going to eventually distribute. Okay, what do I need over here? You're right. I need x plus 2, and I need x plus 2. So let's rewrite our common denominator, x plus 2 times x minus 3 in the denominator, and let's do some multiplication. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times negative 3 is negative 12. 2 times x is 2x squared. 2x times 2 is positive 4. I have a plus sign, which is great, so now I can just go to combine like terms. I'm going to write down my common denominator, and we're going to combine 4x squares and 2x squares gives me 6x squares. Negative 12 and positive 4 gives me negative 8. I'm going to leave it. That's it. I'm not going to factor anything. You could, I think you could factor this one even further. So I'm actually going to say to go further, because some people might want to. If you left it like this, that's fine. But let's just go further. From the numerator, I would take out a 2. 6 can be divided by 2 and negative 8. So I would take out a greatest common factor of 2. I have x squared minus 4 left. I have my common denominator. Okay. And then this can be factored. So that can be factored to x plus 2 and x minus 2. I have my common denominator. And hopefully you'll see that we're going to be able to cross out. So when we simplified, we learned how to simplify a few days ago, and we crossed out the common terms that were in the numerator and the denominator. So this actually, in its reduced form, is 2 times x minus 2 over x minus 3. So this is the nice reduced answer. If you leave it here, it's not wrong. It's just not completely reduced. So if you go on to take your college algebra course, you are going to have to go further in this. But for now, I'm seeing that you have a common denominator and that you're able to multiply and then simplify your terms on top. So I did want to show this, though. It is important, just in case somebody's watching who is in college algebra. Hopefully I helped you out. Okay, let's do the last one, number 4. I'm just going to kind of make a little space. Okay, number 4. So our common denominator, actually I don't want to put our common denominator. Let's do common denominator, 3 times 2x plus 6. Again, there are other ways of doing this, but let's just keep it simple. So for 2x plus 6, you're right, it needs to be times 3 times 3. And then for 5x over 3, it needs to be times 2x plus 6 times 2x plus 6. Okay, now that we have our common denominator, let's write that down. And let's multiply in the numerator. So 3 times 3 is 9. I see I have a minus, so I'm going to put minus, and I'm automatically going to open my parentheses because it's minus, and we're going to have to distribute that negative. So 5x times 2x is 10x squared. 5x times 6 is positive 30x. Okay. Now to keep simplifying, I'm going to have to distribute that. So 9 minus 10x squared plus 30x over 3 2x plus 6. I'm going to rewrite it so that it's in standard form. So I'm going to put negative 10x squared plus 30x plus 9 divided by, oh, it shouldn't be 30x. You're right. Thank you very much, everybody. Negative 1 times 30 minus 30 minus 30. Thank you for catching that for me. We're from a positive to a negative because I'm distributing. That was the whole point of that first problem. Okay, and then writing down my denominator. And I'm really going to stop here. We could try to factor this, but we haven't factored when a is greater than 1. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to call this my answer. We hit all of the points. We got the common denominator. We multiplied numerator and denominator by it. We simplified the top, making sure that when we distribute, we change the signs inside. Almost made a mistake, but didn't. And then I just rewrote in standard form. We can't combine anything here, so there's no more simplifying. And then our common denominator. Okay, this has been subtracting and adding with like and unlike denominators. I hope it helped.